So over the past few years, it just seems that cyber criminals seem to always have the upper hand, and they're always ahead of us, and we seem to be in this defensive game most of the time. Are there any new defensive technologies, or how are we going to change this posture, that we find ourselves in?
I'll start out and say that a moment ago we were talking about what I would call hygiene, the basic hygiene, and that would be don't have your password be password, right? I mean, it's simple things like that. But those basic building blocks are so critical. They're the foundation, and we have to continually educate about that. The second thing, and I use the word continually, the second is to move from aperiodic, whether it's training or review of the data, the networks for intrusions, to continuous. And so you will hear now both private and public sector, DHS, for example, talking about continuous diagnostic and mitigation. And the reason it's continuous is if an adversary gets inside of your network, we've found historically that on average it's months that they're inside of your databases. Imagine the damage that is being done, data that's exfiltrated, disruptions that occur. You don't want to have months go by before you find out. You want to have nanoseconds go by before you find out that the intrusion. So moving to a continuous diagnostic and mitigation is a second level. Then I would just quickly add that a next level is to get beyond signatures. So we often today rely on a signature of a past attack, much like when we have an inoculation for a virus. It's based on somebody's already been sick. We already saw the virus. We have a signature of it. We build an antidote. The problem is if it mutates at all in biology or in cybersecurity, if it's at all different, you don't catch it. And so signatures are important. They're useful, but they're not the end all. So to get beyond that is the next level. And I think a lot of firms and the government are experimenting with ways to try to find new approaches to stop the attack before it starts.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with blending different kinds of science together. So I think the next wave, at least for us, is going to be behavioral. So what are we seeing inside of our network that's different than we've seen before? So, every day Stephanie comes to work, she turns her computer on and she does X. Well, she didn't do X today, she did Z, Y. And that's going to take a lot of behavioral science that IT people don't necessarily have or know, but I think mirroring those kinds of sciences together is going to happen so that we actually know these guys have been in my network for a nanosecond, not for 2 or 3 months. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that kind of technology coming at us pretty fast.